pictures of the past, the brighter future that I want to last. I'm looking for the place to share my dreams. I'll hold on tightly to what I believe. I have painted pictures of the past, the brighter future that I want to last. I'm looking for the place to share my dreams. I'll hold on tightly to what I believe.
All right, Icy family, how are we doing tonight? How is everyone doing? Hope all of you are having a great Sunday night. I'm excited and giddy because we've got a train show coming up. I am so excited. This is the 47th Annual Model Railroad Jamboree, and this is supported by my local club that I'm part of, the San Antonio Model Railroad Association. You guys are going to get a lot of content from the show. Obviously, I'll have my video on the show itself, and then we'll be going over Saturday after. So Saturday morning will be the actual train show. We'll be buying things, and in the afternoon we'll have a whole bunch of fun run trains going down. More than likely to be my UTA that I'll be running because it's the most reliable. And then Sunday, I'm not sure what train I'm going to bring. Still trying to figure that out. Also, Saturday evening of that is also scale trains. Scale trains will be in town. So, again, if you have any questions that if I get a chance to ask scale trains, please let me know. Leave a comment. Chat about it. Let me know. I'll try to get those questions answered. I know I have a few questions that I need to ask. The first one is like, how much is the J-Class steam locomotive going to be from XMTH? For me personally, when is the GS4 Daylight Southern Pacific going to come out? Because I want something more quality when it comes to GS4s. I'll ask about the Dakota Buddy. Why does the motherboard and scale trains have issues when you try to convert it from DCC ready to like soundtracks? And I'm trying to think of what the other one was. Oh, why did they go with ESU decoders? Because if you guys don't know, you got to use kind of the ESU programmers in order to program their decoders, which a lot of people frown upon that because it's not really standardized to JMRI. So a few questions that I've got kind of lined up, and I'll try to ask them as best as I can. But I can't wait to record it. It's part of their roadshow, and that'll be coming up next Saturday evening, 1 week, and that's why I'm super excited for this event. Really, really excited. And again, if you're in the local area, you'll hopefully meet me. So let's see what else. As you can see, some new slides and overlays. Kind of want to pretty the slides up a little bit and try to sharpen up the stream a little bit more. I've been having a lot of issues, especially yesterday's stream was probably the most technical issues I've had. Really, yesterday was just a bad day for me personally when it comes to model railroading. I had the Micro Mark camera car that I thought I was going to be doing an unboxing video, and it turned out to be kind of a public service announcement. I did some more research today even because that camera was bothering me so much that I wanted to do a little bit more research, and I actually found that camera. It is the A9 camera from Amazon and third-party countries and whatever, and even some of the one-star ratings were pretty bad, and it had the same issues that I had. It was the syncing issues with the WLAN network that the camera emits, and it's like a $13 camera. So, on Micromart, that car went for $125. The car itself, because I'm kind of looking at it right now. Don't get me wrong, the quality of the car is not that bad. It is pretty good. It is up there, $50, $60 camera car, and maybe $25 worth of a case that I can use out of it. That stand may still be salvageable because I did end up ordering another hopefully better quality camera that also has a magnetic backing on it that we can put onto that mount and still get use out of that car. So crossing fingers, I think we can repurpose it. Again, that's kind of why I try to save as much junk as I can, because I love repurposing old things. I mean, like I said before, I've got a 12-year-old Swan security camera that I'm repurposing. A hodgepodge capture card that's 12 years old that I'm repurposing. So I try to use up old things for as long as I possibly can until they become obsolete, get burnt out, can't get upgrades because of software issues and firmware and all that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, yesterday was kind of a nightmare. I was having a ton of issues with this culprit behind me. I had a lot of coupler height issues. I had wheel bearing issues with the screws for the coupler boxes. It was just inside and out problems. Normally I don't have these problems when it comes to running this particular train on the Samurai layout, but with so many issues I had yesterday, I had to get that fixed. So, and then there was a lot of IRL stuff that I had to deal with too. So I apologize if episode 6 ended kind of abruptly. It wasn't a good day. So just for me in general. So, but today we're gonna come back. We're gonna be stronger, and then kind of finally got the model up and going for this channel. So again, this is the Mythical Railroad. It's all about trains. It's all about, if you want to see prototypical stuff, that's not me. I do things way beyond that. I always do the what ifs in model railroading, usually around Union Pacific. Like, what if the big boy carried all this rock stuff, or what if the big boy, I don't know, carried a whole bunch of coal cars, mining coal cars. So I do things that are beyond prototypical. The only thing that's going to be prototypical is I do want to make a prototypical Amtrak California Zephyr. That is definitely on my to-do list, because California Zephyr runs through a lot of the UP lines, and I've seen that a couple of times in action. So that's definitely something that I do want to prototypically model. But as far as layout's concerned, I've got a Pokemon on the layouts. That should tell you some things. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, this channel, model right here, the gateway into model railroading. I want this channel, if you guys seen this channel for the very first time, I kind of want, to open your eyes into model railroading, that there's so much out there. There's a reason why I nickname it the endless hobby, because there's countless amounts of things that you can do in this hobby. It's the ultimate sandbox, and that's kind of the model that I'm driven by. So, and my goal is that if you find this channel, if you don't know anything about model railroading, you'll find this channel by mistake. and then it opens up your eyes to all sorts of other goodies that are part of this channel, from HO scale to N scale and so forth. So as a part of that, to kind of get another slide here, and this is the MRR family. So again, continuing that trend of gateway into model railroading. So over here onto the side, this is the model railroad family. So if you have a sticker, if you have the JPEG to that sticker, please send me a message over on Discord. It's the best way to do it. I'm usually in Humanity Junction's Discord, or I do have my own Discord down below. If you have a JPEG of your sticker or whatever your brand is, and if you are a content creator dealing in the model railroading community, please send me a JPEG so that way I can post you guys over here. Again, I want to be that gateway. If you find my channel, you're going to find a whole bunch of other YouTubers and just content creators when it comes to model railroading over to the left hand side. So again, if you're part of this wonderful community model railroading, feel free, if you make content here, or if you have a sticker or JPEG that captures your layout, feel free to send it my way. Again, Discord is the best way to do it, and I will put your sticker, patch, logo, whatever over on this left hand side, so that way, again, being that gateway into this wonderful endless sandbox hobby we call model railroading. So I'm really excited about this. It took me a little bit of a while to figure out how I wanted to do this, but again, it kind of just fits into the gateway concept. So if you find me, you're gonna find everyone else as well, from Humanity Junction to Sparky to Tom's Trains and Things, to a whole bunch of others. And that's why I kind of wanted to put kind of an interesting group of collection over here, so that way I can shout all you guys out and so forth. Also, I know I've got a whole bunch. When I advertise that I got a P.O. box, again, down below I do have a P.O. box. It will take you to my Rayron VR website, and if you've got stickers, feel free to send them. Another thing I'm planning on doing here is, I gotta kind of adjust this a little bit, but I do finally have my whiteboard up. I will put all the stickers and goodies up on this board, so that way, again, being part of that gateway. If you see something out there, you recognize who it is, and I am definitely excited to advertise that. So I am excited where we're going into that gateway. Okay, so with that, kind of something else I want to do as well. This podcast is mostly for this particular Icey family, but I want to bring you into the action. So once we continue to grow the Icey family here, chat room right there. If you guys got anything on your mind, kind of a mini Q&A, we can also go into that as well and capture all that goodness. So again, a whole bunch of new slides, interactions. I am excited with the direction that finally going to go, because again, we're kind of winging it at first, doing kind of the tech demo, but I kind of had a spark of inspiration, a little bit of creativity, and now we're starting to iron out and polish kind of where the Icey Rails podcast is going to be going. So really excited, and hopefully you guys will take the journey with me. And also, with that being said, thank you guys so much for all the new subscribers. Again, my upload schedule is usually, I am making it a personal goal in 2023 to have some sort of model railroading videos, content, whatever, once a day. And the way I'm doing that is usually I post 2 shorts a day regarding to just watching a train on a layout, basically mini rail fanning, if you will. And so I try to post those things. I've been posting 187 scale type of items. I recently got like the NASCAR cars that I started to put on the turntable. I've got figures. Right now I'm heavily promoting Mini Prints. Mini Prints has a great business model. It is something that I've been advocating to for a while when it comes to other companies, and Bernard is doing it 100% right, the way he's supposed to do it as far as customer service, using YouTube as a free advertising platform for small businesses. I know others are kind of joining that business model as well, and I am really happy to see that. So right now I'm promoting the hell out of Mini Prints. So I'm a big fan of their service, and I can't wait to get more of those videos out. So and it looks like my chat box is not. Oh, there we go. Boom. There you go. See? Nice. A forum. I it's actually not a bad idea. So the problem about the forum is I'll have to chew on that idea because I used to love the concept of forums, but it's becoming a thing in the past. Discord has kind of replaced forums in the grand scheme of things. I will think about it. It's just I kind of want people leaning more towards Discord because that's kind of where the communication is going, and everyone knows about Discord, and it's much more accessible via the phone as well, and it's just when it comes to my website, it's not really particularly known, so I'll have to chew on that. It's definitely a good idea for sure, but I don't know. I feel like forums. I don't know because I know a lot in the model railroading community. They still use forums to death. I know the NMRA uses forums a lot, so I think I'll chew on that idea. Tom, that's definitely a good idea. I'll look into it. That's even if Wix has forums, because I don't even think, because I use Wix for my website. And again, I know there's a plethora of other websites that can create your website, but I go through Wix because it's what I'm familiar with. They used to be a different company that used to do like gaming clan websites, and so I just know them from the very beginning. Um, and I also, so the main reason, so here's kind of a little bit of advice from me. If you want to really take YouTubing seriously, I would highly recommend getting a website and also paying the domain registration fees. It's a little expensive because I do it yearly, but it allows you some level of copyright, which means that if someone else tried to impersonate you, you at least have a little bit of leeway to say, hey, you can use the copyright claim system on YouTube respectfully, not as a weapon, but as a tool. And so that's the main reason why I do it. From time to time, I need a little bit. I need to update that website because it's a little dated at the moment. But yeah, good idea. I definitely will look into the forum aspect. I'm trying to think. What else? I'm kind of turning this into a more like late night talk show type of format. We'll eventually get into the trains. Don't get me wrong. We'll get into it. I've got two special trains that I've got on the way out. Obviously, you guys can see one of them, and then the title kind of gives the other one away. But we'll start running them here in a minute. Kind of get some business out of the way. But let's see what else. So yeah, the channel has been growing at a steady rate, like I said, 2 shorts a day, and I've been trying to get at least one video out a week. That's kind of where I'm at, just because of IRL work, because I'm dealing with my master's degree program right now. A lot of time is kind of being soaked up. When I do these streams, usually I have some free time, and so it's been kind of busy. It's been busy, but these will come out sporadically. When it comes to live streaming, it's just a luck of the draw. Again, if you want to know when I go live, hit that subscription button, hit the bell icon, so that way you can get notified on when I go live. It's the best way to do it for me right now. I apologize. I want to get on a set schedule. Eventually, I can see this being, I do 2 shorts a day, do one video a day, do one stream a day. And probably take like Sunday off for me personally, but I love this. I love doing this content, and you guys have been loving it too because we're up to 421 subscribers. That's kind of mind blowing. That you know, that amount. It's hard to gauge just how big that number is because every day I gotta ask myself, how many people is that really IRL? Well, it's like a typical classroom at a community college is like 10 people. And then an average school class is 30 people. You can field an auditorium for about, 75 people. And the fact that we have over 421 people, that it's mind blowing to think that, the Icey family is that big. It's crazy. But I do appreciate each and every one of you that continue to come and watch the channel. I greatly appreciate it. So we're definitely on our way. I'm hoping, and again, this is all dependent on you guys. You guys dictate when we hit these numbers. But I'm just going to continue to get the content out, to keep you guys entertained, to provide escapism, to really, again, promote that special gateway into model railroading. And I'm hoping, depending on you guys, that we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So that is kind of my goal. That is what I am pushing towards. But at the end of the day, numbers don't matter. I just hope you guys are having fun and learning something and enjoying this hobby. So that's really what it matters. So cool. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into model railroading. So our special guests for the night on the layout, we have the big boy River Rossi 4018. It has the two special water tenders, and we've also got a coal train that it'll be pulling. Along with that, we've got the rock train that we're going to be also on the layout. I finally have charged up my tablet again. Last stream, it was dead, and so it was adding on to the fiasco of just technical issues yesterday. But yeah, Thomas, thank you so much for that support. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Cool. With that, guys, let's go ahead and let's put our dispatcher hat on. Let's go to the dispatching camera. So we got the 4018. We'll go ahead and get the engineer over there, rev it up, get that light turned on, get the horn going. And then let's go ahead and get the engineer to the rock. All right. As we hear it's revving up behind me. All right. Let's go ahead and dispatch the big boy. And we'll dispatch the rock. One of these days I'll kill that momentum. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the coal train special with the big boy. That's nothing but coal cars. We've got some Utah coal cars in there. We've got some Santa Fe coal cars in there. Majority of it is Chicago Northwestern. To wrap it up with the UP Caboose. And then we've got the Rock, what I call the Smurf Express train, because it's all blue. It's great. I love it. And I just recently got in the mail 2 extra coal cars from the Rock. So if you've seen in my past fun run videos, the train is a little bit bigger. So, knock on wood, everything's kind of smooth. I've ran these 2 engines for a bit before I went live, just to make sure that everything is squared away. But I think we're good to go. So again, that big boy is a River Rossi. I am a big fan of River Rossi's products. They've always been reliable since the 90s. And we got the rock going in front of the dispatcher camera there. And again, guys, train show coming up next week. I'm excited. You'll get a lot of content. If you're in the San Antonio area, Garden Ridge Community Center. Can't wait. So this is what the hobby is all about. You know, I'm looking at my dispatching camera, seeing the 2 trains going around the layout. It's so much fun. One of these days, we'll have a camera that goes 360. probably a motion camera. Got a lot more experimenting to do. Because you have those cameras that it will follow a particular, either a face or another like transmitter device. And so I'm wanting to put a transmitter device on one of these trains so the camera can actually follow the train all the way around. So and I've got 2 major shelves here that I can put the camera on. So I've got some ideas. Can't wait. And as far as the layout, I haven't done much to it. Like I said, with the train show coming up next week, all my funds are kind of focused on that right now, considering that I can only, in my local area, there's only 2 train shows a year. But there's the NMRA in Dallas that's coming up in August. I will definitely be there. Slow down the rock a little bit here. Oh yeah, as I was saying, I forgot to mention. So, I know there are some packages coming to the PO box. I already have one, but I've been notified that there's 2 more packages coming. Be patient. Like I said, I had a hectic week, and so I'm going to try to make it to the PO box on Tuesday to see what's there. So be patient, guys. I'll try to get to my PO box as soon as I can. So another thing I think I want to grab too is more of the Swan cameras. Because there's still some blind spots that's bugging me. I know what we can do. Let's go to JMRI. I know what we can do. Just to mix it up a little bit. Just to mix it up a bit. Okay, let's see here. Why is this a thing? That's my throat. Go away. Alright, let's bring up... So for this particular layout, really, the truthful answer is when I feel like it. But realistically, what I should be doing is at least once a month. Because this is a relatively small layout. I do run plastic wheels, so theoretically I should be doing it once a week, but I don't have enough time to do that. So at least once a month I run my cleaning train. So again, I did a whole video on my cleaning HO train that has the vacuum car. It's got the clean machine, the CSX clean machine, the central line rollers, the Bachmann cleaning pads, and the old school IHC caboose car, cleaning car. So usually for this layout, usually once a month. Usually I do it at the beginning of the first week of the month. But good question. Yeah, and then for the cleaning machine, I use 91% alcohol. But again, don't let my recommendation say that's the greatest in the world, because really when it comes to liquid cleaners, it just depends on so many different variables that really what I recommend is you need to experiment which one that you want to use and then just go with it. Because obviously it's going to depend on, do you use plastic wheels, how big is your layout, how often do you run it, are you in a dusty environment, like it just depends. Oh, Thomas, I would not say that, because I can list so many things that I wish HO had in N-scale. Like, for example, N-Scale's got Kato. N-Scale has got T-Track. N-Scale has got microtrains. They make so many things for N-Scale that I am super, super jealous. You know, you got the Japanese bullet trains in N-Scale. Look up CSX Clean Machine. You meant clean device. I think CSX Clean Machine is an N-Scale, too. I think they got it for O, HO, and N. But I don't know about the centerline rollers. That I don't know. So, yeah, that I don't know. But, you know, N-Scale, there's a lot of cool things for N-Scale, too, so I wouldn't sweat it too much. Okay. Let's see. What I was going to do is I was going to bring up the dispatch board real quick. Let's bring out the layouts. So yeah, I still haven't found a perfect way to really capture this on the stream. This is more playing around that I need to do, but right now we got the first sensor. You can see it on the JMRA panel over on that modular, and you can see it going to the second one with the block detection. And then it stops on the modular in front of me. I still need to get block detection for the rest of the layout. Unfortunately, in order to really get the rest of the block detection going, I need a command station with proper boosters and all of that. At least for me personally, that's my recommendation. There's so many different ways to get block detection. There's more than one way to skin a cat when it comes to model railroading. And so, yeah, pretty cool. And I should have this green because that's the direction it's going. I wonder if I can change. Let's see. Awesome. So I wonder if that's going to change. There we go. So yeah, I do have signal logic on this signal right here. So when the big boy went over that first sensor, you can see red down below. That signal went red. Now I still need to figure out some other things because when that block over here no longer has any resistance, it goes to green. No, we're still good, but still more playing that I need to do with it. So now you can kind of see where the big boy is at. So eventually you'll know, and on this dispatch board you'll see exactly where all the trains are on the layout. Yeah, and apparently that sensor over there is not working for some reason, so I don't know. I still have to play around with it. I don't know why that one didn't go to green, but again, this is the goal. That dispatch board, that is the goal. So eventually we'll have a third monitor that just has my JMRI dispatch board. Because I can control the switch. This is the switch right here. So basically I've got the Phoenix Point has a DS64 that connects to LocalNet. That LocalNet then connects to my DCS52. My DS52, this guy right here, has a built-in PR4 that then sends a signal to JMRI. Because right now, this whole place is going to be Digitrack system. And eventually, I'll probably upgrade this DS64 to a DS74, so that way I can have the push buttons. And you guys can see eventually, you know, it's red, green, whatever. So I think that's something I'm going to do sooner rather than later. We'll convert this to a DS74. I'm getting the itch to actually do that. Because I really want that push button because it gives you a red light, green light. I really want to put on the side here so that way I can see it. Because sometimes I have no light indicators for when this is mainline or thrown. The only indicator that I have is on my JMRI panel here. So yeah, I just flipped the switch, and I don't know if you hear the toy switch machine move, but so yeah, it's getting there. It is getting there. So yeah, this is the alcohol that I use. I did have a 70%, but that was because I was naive enough not to realize that, oh, that's 70% alcohol, 30% water, which I don't want to deal with. 91% is what our club uses. And especially with the cleaning train, the way we have it set up, it works just fine for me. And I've tried using mineral spirits. Mineral spirits does work, but there's a kind of a big caveat from what I found out. Mineral spirits tends to work if you're solely metal wheels only type of layout. For me, I do have a lot of plastic wheels. Like this whole coal train has plastic wheels on it. And so what I found out is that mineral spirits will dissolve the plastic wheels, adding more crap to the track, and it made it worse for me, is what I noticed. Again, there's so many variables to cleaning tracks. It's just, that's why I highly recommend just trial and error your cleaning onto the track. And I've tried the, oh, where is it? I know I have it actually. Well, I thought I had it. Yeah. I got some sort of paste that you put on the track, but it leaves my tracks too greasy and I get wheel slips. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I will. I'll check that out. My big boy's trying to catch up to the rock. Got to speed it up. Are we derail? No. But yeah, I'm probably going to start incorporating N-scale shorts to my list. Because originally I was just doing one short a day, but I've been noticing a trend in algorithms that when I put out a short every day, there's been a trend where the viewers or the how far it reaches to other people is really 50-50. Some days it'll be really, really good. Other days it'll be just the worst I've ever seen. So what I've noticed is if I put a second short out every day and separate it 12 hours apart, one of those two videos typically does good. But I've noticed if I tried to do three, it's not great for any of those three, because then the algorithm thinks that you're spamming content, and I know it doesn't like that, but that's what I've been seeing on my channel. Again, the algorithm can be very different for every different channel, so my advice is probably experiment with either shorts or videos, figure out what works best for you, and then I can't stress this enough, be consistent, because that's the other thing. Some of the views that are really, really good is because I've kept it consistent around that time frame and just never stopped, and that has helped tremendously. Uh oh. See, we've been doing so well with the trains, nothing has gone wrong, and then that happens. This is what I call the gremlins. The gremlins are all over the layout, and they'll just play tricks. Because you guys saw that, Big Boy was going around just fine, and then the gremlins happen. Alright, you forgot something, Big Boy. Get your butt back over here. At least I'll be able to do this, though, so let's do this. See how far. Oop, okay. It can only go so far. Back up the Big Boy. Grab your train. Okay, we'll make this even more realistic as a dispatcher. We'll put the, I'll do it later, but grab your water tenders, grab your coal train. So this Big Boy doesn't have, well, it does have a rear light. However, the wire that connects to the tender broke on me. And so I'll fix it eventually. It's a very low priority project for me. Oh, we've got derailments. Oh, okay. That explains everything. So this leads me to another rant. Scale trains. I love you and everything, but these 3-axle tenders are a freaking nightmare to deal with sometimes, because the middle axle of the tender is just, I feel like it's just ever so slightly higher than the front and end axles, that it tends to lift and give momentum to the truck, which causes it to derail if your track is not perfectly level. And I have a modular layout. Of course things aren't going to be 100% level. Okay, let's re-rail this. Yeah, that is 100% derailed. Alrighty. Get you guys a nice little close-up shot of the Big Boy here. Nothing like running trains, man. I love that feeling. I'm one of those people that I can put trains on a circle and just let it go. for hours. And that's the whole purpose of this podcast. It's a nice shot. Alright. We'll give the rock here a red signal. It should have been red to begin with, but we'll work on that. Alright, let's get the big boy up to speed. Alright, we'll give the rock a yellow here. And we'll go ahead and flip it to green. There we go. Alright. So hopefully the tender doesn't derail again. We'll see. Knock on wood. Oof. But again, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I am Rayron, the Ice Dragon. We are on the mythical railroad, where pretty much nothing is prototypical. I do model in HO scale, and most of my collection is around the Union Pacific Family Heritage Tree during the transitional era. Now, I understand that the rock wasn't really bought by Union Pacific. However, there was a portion of the railroad when it comes to the rail lines that UP did buy, and so I've kind of adopted them into my family heritage a little bit. And as you can see here, this is an HO modular layout. It is based off of the Fremo standards. So all of the track work that you see, all the wiring, all the Digitrack stuff, all the bus wires, most of that is Fremo standards. So I can take one of these modulars, take them apart, and connect it to another modular layout, and it'll be just fine. However, these modulars are not true Fremo because the width is a lot smaller. If I remember correctly, again, I'm probably going to be wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, the width, I think, is supposed to be 36 inches in width. These are actually 12 inches in width. And the only reason is because this is technically a small room, but it's just enough to get this layout together. And eventually we'll have other tables that connect to the main line for just scenery. And so that's kind of the vision going forward. Don't you derail on me now. I'm watching you. crazy. Oh. So my next video will be coming out tomorrow. For those of you who are watching the stream, I'll give you guys exactly what the video is going to be about. It is going to be episode 7 of the Fun Run from Samurai. Lots of good engines. It's going to be about an hour and 10 minutes. And I think I'll release that as a premiere. So lots of cool engines for this episode. So you guys have that to look forward to tomorrow. I probably won't post a short tonight. Because normally, like I said, normally I do 2 shorts. But considering I'm streaming, I'll probably just make up for that. And we got the big boy running through here. Time to do some mini rail fanning. The big boy is by far one of my favorite locomotives. It's I would say it's my #1 favorite locomotive behind the cab forward from Southern Pacific and the GS4 Daylight. But the turbines are definitely up there too. I love the veranda, I love the big blow. And if you want to talk about some serious power, I've got my Union Pacific Sentinel or Centennial right here. Hey, the plumber, how you doing, good sir? Hopefully you're feeling well. Welcome, welcome. Just kicking back, relaxing. Yeah, the podcast yesterday was really fun with Artie. But I was on my other computer in the office, and that one doesn't have a webcam, so that's why I didn't have one. My webcams are actually in this room. So I have 2 different rooms. I've got this layout room, and then I got my office. Yep, so we've got the Rock train running around, as I like to call it, the Smurf Special. And then we got the River Rossi Big Boy 4018. That is the Texas Survivor. One of the 8 surviving big boys. We'll do some mini rail fanning here. Get some more of it going. Do a nice slow pass here. I actually need to stop for a second. So we'll park you real quick. Let the Rock get some headway. Okay. Yeah, if you guys were wondering what I'm using to control the layout, so I'm using a Digitrack system. I've got the DCS52, which again, I cannot recommend enough if you want to go into DCC. Basically, get yourself a DCS52 with an LNWI, get you a nice little pad here with engine driver, or I think it's Wii throttle for the Apple. And man, you got yourself a nice DCC system. Wireless controller, cheap wireless controller. Eventually, we'll get the Digitrack's 600 series throttle. I think it's like the 602D we'll eventually get, but that's something that's going to be a little bit more in the future. Yep, it's the Smurf train. It's the Smurf train. And I love it. Eventually, I'll have small Smurf figurines to put into the gondolas. It's going to be cool. Again, I'm anything but prototypical. Yeah, I heard about that on the podcast yesterday with the firmware updates. Oh, man. Ugh. That leaves me really hesitant. Again, I love Digitracks, but you gotta be a freaking scientist or rocket engineer to understand the instructions behind it. It's very, very technical writing for sure. Oh, no, stop. Go back this way. There we go. So yeah, let me go ahead and switch. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so yeah, I've got the DCS52 here. I love this thing with the PR4 in it. Perfect. PM74 for my block detection and circuit breaker system. We've got the SE74 for my signals. Can't see this, but we've got the LNWI, so that way I can get wireless control. This is my old DCS50. I'm not using it right now, but and then all sorts of just wiring crap I gotta clean up eventually. Yeah, I'll agree with that too. Other things are, it's because of LocalNet. LocalNet is so powerful, and Digitrax really capitalizes on that. That's one big thing that I really like about it, and that's why I'm making the series called "How Far Can We Take Digitrax?" Because Digitrax, you can take it really far when it comes to command and control. And that's not to bash like DigiKeys or NCE. Again, I don't tell people what system they should get. I am heavily biased towards Digitrax, but again, you just got to use a system that works for you. And to kind of echo what other people have said, go with the system that your local club goes with, because then you can see it fully in action and get help if you need it. And since I was definitely fascinated by modular railroading, I fell in love with the NMRA standard, with the Fremo standard, and I think NMRA uses Digitrax for their main layout. But other clubs use NCE. Again, it's literally apples and oranges. That's what makes it the greatest sandbox. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And if you want absolute control from your command system, go with Arduinos, because Arduinos and DCCEX Plus, it's the ultimate way to customize a railroad. I'm just not good with coding. Yeah, baby steps. Now here's the interesting thing. It's like, if I were to start over again, would I go with
would I go with Digitrax? To be honest, probably not. I would still learn about Digitrax just for the sake of the clubs. I would actually go DigiKeys or DigiKeys. I would have done that, and that's what I'm going to do with my N scale layout that we'll start building. I will do a series of how far can we take DigiKeys along with how far can we take LCC. But yeah, if I would have to do it all over again, I would go with DigiKeys in a heartbeat because I love the compatibility to other systems that DigiKeys has. Again, a big shout out to Humanity City Junction for kind of showcasing just how far you can take DigiKeys. And so I would go that way in a heartbeat. I mean, that's what my end scale is going to be. It's all going to be DigiKeys. And that's the beauty too about the hobby. Is like, yeah, you got DC and nothing against DC. DC needs to exist, and this is why. DC is vital because it is what is needed for the younger generation, for those who can't really afford DCC, to get into the hobby. I advocate for DC all the time. I advocate for Bachman because it's the entry level that's going to get people into the hobby. And DC plays a vital role in that. If we lose DC, it's going to be even harder. That curve to get into the hobby is going to freaking exponentially increase. Whereas now it's like, it's a slow incline. You do DC, and then you start learning about the hobby, you start the mechanics of it, and then you can slowly get into the DCC. But man, DC is vital. I advocate for DC all the time because it's needed to get into the hobby for the entry level aspect of it. Because for like, I don't know, $200, you basically get track, controller, train, and run it around in circles. It's vital. Very, very important. Yeah, and yeah, I'm a huge, matter of fact, I gotta show you something, Plumber. Give me 1 second. Because you actually brought up something about Blue Nami that I kind of want to showcase. Okay, so yesterday, if you guys don't know, there's a YouTuber called Artie, who's from Australia that does monorail. Highly recommend it. And on his podcast yesterday, we were talking about Bunamis. This is where Blunami originated from. So this is the Bachman Easy App Control. And this is where basically Blue Rail, it used to be called Blue Rail. This is where it originated from. And these are actually fairly cheap. This one was like, I think I bought this for like $100. I know this one's upside down, but and then I bought another one. And this was very important to the hobby because what this allows you to do, I can literally put this on a DC track. All you gotta do is max out the power. And if you download that Easy app, you can control this on a DC layout. And then I can put it on my DCC and still run it from my phone. This is revolutionary in the hobby. Yeah, this is where Blunami originated from. Blunami, if I remember correctly, Blunami used to be called Blue Rail, and then Blue Rail was a technology for the Easy app here for Bachman. Because I did a lot of research on this app, and it was just revolutionary what it could do. Because when I was at the club, in California, I didn't have any DCC engines at the time. And so it's like, and then there was a show coming around in like a couple weeks. So it's like, okay, crap, what do? I don't have that much money. I want to have something that control the layout. And I bought this engine. This was basically my first DCC engine, and I just had DC track at the time. And when I learned that, all I gotta do is crank up the power on the DC power pack to max and control it from my phone, it was revolutionary for me. Now, granted, it is app control, so there is a downside to that, but that's where Bluenami now becomes a player, because this is limited to by app control only. You can't control it from like a DCS52 system. So that's where this kind of fails a little bit, is that you're dependent on the app, which, again, I don't like that. But what this presented was a whole new world, and that has evolved into the Bluenami decoders. And I tell you what, once they start perfecting those Bluenami decoders, it's going to be revolutionary. Because now I can take all of my engines, my DC engines, convert them to Bluenami, and still have the same effect as this, with the additional bonus that now I can control it from my DCC controllers as well. That is the key, and I think that's the future. Now, if you want me to also theorize about the future, I think Dead Rail is going to be the end goal to everything. But again, there's issues with that because of batteries. But the technology, I know the technology is there, that if we want to go Dead Rail, there needs to be, here's where I see the future going. Dead Rail is going to be a part of it, but it's going to be a hybrid system. Basically, what I can see is that you have the power still coming from the track, but instead of being the power to control the engine, it'll be the power pickups to charge the battery, that the battery controls the rest of the system. There's kind of a difference there. The power doesn't turn on off the board, it charges the battery to the board. And that way, if you have a short circuit, or if the layout, you can turn off the layout power, the batteries will still go for, it's like a keep alive but on steroids. Once that keep alive system evolves and we can put more power into those keep alives to run, instead of being minutes that is now, into hours, that's going to be interesting. But again, the technology is just not there yet, considering finances, getting the lithium to get these batteries. It requires some time, but the technology is just not there yet. And that's where I see the hobby going, at least. But yeah, I love these engines. So much potential. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about Bluenamis. I'm super excited. Super excited for Bluenamis. And yeah, and then with the Bluenamis too, it is amazing what you can do with them. Like, you can change CVs on the fly. Like, when it comes to programming, if I understand it correctly, you can change the number from your app, and that's huge. Absolutely huge. So again, once they finalize that technology, and what's funny is that I followed Blue Rail religiously. Like, I signed up. They had a sign-up subscription for emails about what they were doing next in their technology, and then they had. I'll never forget it. I sent out an email saying that we have signed a contract with a particular company. We cannot give you any more details. And it's like, what's going on? I want this technology. And I was wondering if they were going to come out with their own board from Blue Rail themselves to install into these engines. Because that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for a quick plug version of the Blue Rail decoders. And then their announcement was they have partnered with Soundtracks to make the Bluenami decoders. And man, I went fucking crazy. Yeah. Now again, Bluenamis are in the early stages because one of my club mates bought their Blue Rail or Bluenami decoders, and unfortunately they had a small defect that would burn out the chip. and so they had to send it back. But Tsunami understands the fault, and I think they're trying to fix it now. But man, I'm excited for Bananas. They are expensive right now. I think they're like $200 a decoder for the very early releases of them. But like everything else, it'll come down and it'll be amazing. And I'm definitely hype. I am going to overhype Buramis. I will die by that sword. I will definitely die by that sword. And the reason why I'll die by that sword is because I've already seen what they can do. That's why I'll die by it. But for now, we're going to experiment with just the Digitrax decoder so I can get the knowledge. Because I'm still a novice at installing decoders. Yeah. I'm excited. I am excited for the Lunamis. Man, I am just... Oof. The more I think about it, the more and more potential is there. Let's get this camera into focus, shall we? Come on, camera, focus. There we go. Oh, we need to... So this layout can handle 3 trains, but my brain power can only handle 2. So I just run 2 trains on this layout. Eventually we'll get a 3rd, but it requires some sidings in order for that to happen. To go even in the opposite direction. Because eventually what I would like to do is get mini ops on this layout, having 2 trains going in one direction, 1 train going the other. So that way we can have some real fun with signals and dispatch control and so forth. Because again, the ultimate goal for this layout is JMRI dispatching, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, I mean, you do have a great point there. Because it's like, nothing can beat the hardcore soundtracks decoders, because from what all the YouTubers have been saying, from all the videos that I've seen, the soundtracks decoders, I think, are still king. But when it comes to functionality, and I'm all about functionality, those Bunamis are just... they're so good right now. And that's kind of why I went with Digitrax, because of the functionality. Now, I didn't know about DigiKeys. DigiKeys takes functionality and puts it on steroids, but... yeah. I'll figure out a way to put this JMRI capture in a better spot. Let's see, what else? What else can I show? But yeah, I love the hobby. I love this hobby so much. I've been in this hobby for almost all of my life. Okay, here we go again. I heard that derailment a mile away. Hi, big boy. I think we've got a derailment on our tenders. So again, I love scale trains. Their details, oh my goodness, their details just cause so many issues for me. Dear Atherin, please make the water tenders again. Yep, and there we go. It's interesting because it'll go around the track just fine. And it'll derail right there. I think I'm going to have to swap them out. Let me do that real quick. Okay. Let's see if that fixes our problem a little bit here. Okay, I need to get some distance. And then we'll dispatch the big boy here in a second. Yeah, I've got so many DC engines I need to convert. Come on. So if you guys don't know, this is one of my kittens. She's the baby. Also the supervisor because she always watches me work. Oh, so many projects. Oh, you're fine. Yeah, go take care of your life stuff. Do what you gotta do. I'm just sitting here running trains and having fun and enjoying the company, so. No, stop. Do what you gotta do. Whew. Think what I will do? Let's put Centennial on. I got an idea. Oh no. Never mind. I forgot about something. The Centennial. So, My club layout uses Easy DCC with the old Easy DCC controllers. They don't consist multiple engines together. I've tried, doesn't work. So this guy, I put the number as 4018 because I wanted to consist these two together, so I've got to reprogram into a different number. I'll do it later. I was going to have to go back and forth on the secondary sideline. But I think what I will do is call up 1996 there. It doesn't go back and forth as well, though. What kind of DCC engine I can use? I'll do it. You know what? Just to treat you guys, I'll do this. Let's get a third engine on to run on that siding. Because more trains is always good. And I've got the urge to run this engine. Howdy, Split Rock. How you doing? If you guys don't know, Split Rock also makes some great content here on the YouTubes. Make sure you go follow him on his channel, do the subs, all that fun jazz. Yep, so we're running the Smurf train. That is the Smurf train over here. I got 2 new coal cars for the Smurf train. So I'm kind of running that today. We got Big Boy 4018 because I love the big boys. And then I'm about to put a third engine on just to run back and forth on siding. Just to spice things up a little bit. Hey, welcome back, Thomas. Yeah, so the Smurf train has some ores. The big boy is actually running the ores. There's Santa Fe, Utah, Chicago Northwestern, and NMRA Las Vegas ore car in there. Okay, so 25 for the rock, 21 for the speed. Yeah. Yep. Pacific Coast Region, 1974. NMRA Las Vegas ore car. Whenever I see those specialty cars, I buy them in a heartbeat. And I think I got that one for like $5. Alright, the plumber, take it easy. Have fun with the movie. Let's spice things up a little bit. Yeah. And the other day, too, me grab this car. Let me grab this one. Okay. All right, so we talk about specialty cars. Again, I got this one for like $10. So that is a Daylight 85 PCR Convention Southern Pacific boxcar. Love it. And then this one I just got in the mail just recently. Because I'm originally from Utah. This is a Centennial boxcar from the group Salt Lake Trackers. I didn't even know it exists until I found this on the Facebook Marketplace. And there's 2 other cars with this too, so I gotta find them. Yeah, I love the boxcar like that. It's so cool. Oh, and I also got Rio Grande. Rio Grande cars are in there too. Okay, so we got a good speed match between the two. I got 25 speed step, 21 speed step. So fairly 180 apart. So let's call up the turbine. So this turbine is the Scale Trains number 26, one of the 2 survivors. I've actually seen this in person. This is the Ogden Edition gas turbine from the transitional era. Assuming it wants to work, let's see. Okay, it's starting up now. Yeah, let's do this. Are you stuck? Is that what it is? Come on. There we go. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll run the turbine from point to point, just to give a little bit more action to the layout. So you can really hear the squeaking in the background. That's the turbine. Scale Trains loves their squeaking wheels on the rail feature. It's hit or miss with me. See how we get 2 trains. Here we go. And eventually we'll have that 3rd rail as well. So it should be coming up on the top middle camera here shortly, and then it'll be on the main screen down there. Assuming it doesn't derail, knock on wood. Alright. So I've got, this is the beauty about this dress. 2 trains on the app with the engine driver, and then the handheld controller here for the turbine. So here comes the turbine, the great turbine from Ogden Station, one of the 2 survivors of this class. A and B units are powered. This is the River Counter Museum Quality Edition. And just look at that shot. We got the big boy and the turbine. Yeah, just park it right there for a bit. Now the skill train does have the feature where I can turn on the turbine. It is loud. Like I had to nerf it a little bit. It was so freaking loud. I can't remember what button it is, but it's too loud for my taste. Oh, absolutely. I love the turbines. Like I said, I just got number 80, the coal turbine. I was so happy that came in. It came all the way from Japan. And that's why I was crossing my fingers. And so, I can't wait to convert that to DCC. Like it's a big priority for me to get that into DCC. So, and also when it comes to, so, like the scale trains, I'm happy with it. It is temperamental on older Atlas switch, Code 100 switch tracks though. I will caution you with that. Like I use Code 80 Pico for pretty much everything because it is so versatile, and I noticed that with Pico track, all of my engines tend not to derail as the Code 100 Atlas switch tracks do. I've always wanted to run the gas turbine on the Samurai layout, but they have Code 100 Atlas, and scale trains in the 3-axle configurations are horrendous because they always derail, not enough pickups. There's always some sort of issue when it comes to Atlas. Oh yeah, cool. Oh man, I've got to put it away right now, but I did a video on it, and man, I love the coal turbine. There was no way. So really, to get the coal turbine in DCC right now, the only way to do it is 2 different ways. You can get the Division Points coal turbine. It's brass. It is like the River Counter equivalent to Scale Train's turbine, but it's like $5,000. It's ridiculous, and the packaging is so subpar. And the other way is to get, you know, an old coal turbine from the old brass days. And that's one that I was able to get for like 5 times less the price. And all you gotta do is put a fancy decoder in there on both the A and B units, and I'm golden. But I can't wait to do the Day of the Turbines. That is coming. I've got version 1 in MTH. I got the Veranda in version 2. And now we got the scale trains. And now we got the coal turbine. We're going to have a turbine day on this layout. And I'm excited for it. Humanity City Junction, welcome, good sir. How are you doing? Guys, make sure you check out Humanity City Junction. You want to talk about the technical aspects of model railroading, please, please, please check out his channel. Far beyond what I'm going to do on this layout for sure. How are you doing, good sir? You are definitely up late. Definitely up late. But yeah, man, my video on the freaking camera card from Micromart, that video took off. Was not expecting it. It's like it was just my first rant video in Buyers Beware, and really like the first time that I felt ripped off in the hobby. But I'm gonna try to salvage it as best as I can. It's the camera. It's just the worst quality camera they could have put on that car. And so I've got another camera coming in that has a magnetic back that we're gonna try to save that car. So yeah, I do have a lot of channels. Right now, it's more of a back burner type of projects. I think everything that's listed in this channel, I think is okay. So I've got this channel. I've got the Mongaverse channel. I've got the Endless Collectibles. I have the Icy Arcade, and I've got the Icy News. So I think it's 5 channels. And the reason why I'm doing that, it's more of the long-term goal that I have. Because eventually I would love to make this into my retirement job, essentially. So I'm building it up now for the long term. But this one by far is the most dominant. It's the most that I have as far as community base, and it's the one I'm more passionate about. But the other ones, I'm passionate about too. And so it's going to be more of, not putting all your eggs in one basket per se, even though I'm putting it all on YouTube. But I'm also passionate about all those other ones. I just don't have the time right now because, like I said, I'm working on my master's degree. I've got a full-time job. I'm trying to do this as a part-time gig. So, you might see, it's not a Micromart camera. It is a cheap $13 Chinese manufactured camera that has all the it has a lot of negative reviews for the exact same issue. It emits a WLAN signal that's supposed to connect to the phone, just like an LNWI does. And that little camera is so cheaply made that it's inconsistent on when it gives that signal, making it almost a really useless product. So they basically took a $13 camera, a $70 car, and a $20 case, and sold it for $125. Yeah, I was not happy. Like, I don't care about the app feature. Just record it to the stupid SD card, so that way I can get, I wanted a second camera, because I already have a Cube camera. Matter of fact, I used it today for some more future cab cameras. So that video almost didn't happen. It was tough for me because, well, 2 things. First, the first part of that video that I recorded on it was supposed to be an unboxing. And I went into that narrative thinking it was going to be my second Icy unboxing video. And so I recorded it that way, and it had all the great things in the world. And then when I went to go actually try to use the camera, it went to hell. It went to hell. So I was, oh man, it was tough. It was really, really tough. And so I kept true to myself. It's like, this needs to be a buyer's beware, because Micromart advertised the crap out of this thing. It was on the front cover of their magazine. It was one of their spotlight items on their website. And I just did not feel good knowing the information I had now not to finish that video. And so I pushed on through it. As a matter of fact, it became a double header yesterday because I did the video for this layout. I think it was episode 6. And now it's supposed to be the only video that I was supposed to make. That unboxing video for the camera car was supposed to come out today. But yet when I realized what the camera was all about, I said, no, we're going to release this as soon as I can. So I was literally editing that video and uploading when I was with Artie on his podcast yesterday, because I felt the need to upload it and call it the Icey Rage, or the Dragon's Rage, because, man, I was mad. I was so mad. Let me grab it real quick. If you can't, yeah, I've seen you use it, and it's something I'm going to dive into with that. Yeah, it's definitely on my to-do list. Let me show you the cameras that I do have. I'll be right back. Okay, let me show you some behind-the-scenes stuff that I do for my videos. Okay, so this was the car in question. So here it is, the Micromart. I was hoping to save this. Now, don't get me wrong. The car is really good. Metal wheels, Katy couplers, really good detail for it. So I got to give him credit. This is actually a really good car. Don't get me wrong. And this was the mount that it came with. And it's not a bad mount because it's 360. You can rotate it. It's got somewhat of a magnetic connector here. So don't get me wrong, there's some good things to it, but the camera had a magnetic backing, and I can't find the camera now. I think I tossed it to the four winds. But I found another camera that much more greater quality that has the same magnetic background. And so I'm hoping to salvage this so that way I can actually make it work. We'll see. Crossing fingers. But anyways, yeah, that's the Micromart. Yeah. So as far as cameras that I use, this is basically, I went on Amazon and sorted by comments the best star rating for these miniature cameras. So this is like a little cube camera. It's by Sir Gawain, whatever. But it does exactly what I need it to do. You press a button, and if it's one color, it does one thing. If it's another color, it does another thing. Uh-oh. And we have no problem. Yeah. Big boy. You forgot to train again. Okay. But the reason why I like this a lot is because it's got this little grabber here. And I can put this on pretty much any gondola car that I have. I can put it on the front, put it on the back, and just clip it on, and you're good to go. Now, granted, battery life is an issue, which, yeah, it makes the point for your 5-volt battery pack, but I'm all about functional, and I'm all about simplicity. And this camera's worked great. I've done an episode on the Samurai layout where I've used this. As a matter of fact, I just used this today for the fun run, and I'll have 2 or 3 more episodes coming out on it. But the backbone for my videos, easily the GoPro Hero 11s. Like, this is my wrist-mounted GoPros. I know they're a little bit expensive, but for what I get out of it, it's insane. So this is how I record. And this is actually really stable. I can get into really good camera shots on the layout. And the best thing about it is that it's got the interchangeable batteries that if one battery goes flat, you just swap it out. And you can swap out SD cards and so forth. But I really love these Heroes. And I've gone crazy with this stuff. I put one on my arm, and then I've got the shoulder mount one that I got from Amazon. And I just have a shoulder mount GoPro. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how versatile that shoulder mount is. because I can literally control a train while I'm recording. Or when I go to a train show, the last train show that I did, I just put a GoPro on my shoulder and then just went ham. And this has been the backbone of my content on this channel for at least a year now. So this is the 11 Black. Now, kind of some word of caution. So if you already have the GoPro Hero 10, then you don't need to get the 11 because it's kind of the same feature. I'm not going to go too technical in it. It's ridiculous. But if you got the 10, you don't need to go to 11 from what all of the research that I've done. Now, I don't have a 10. I didn't even have any GoPros for that matter. So it made more sense for me to just jump right into the 11. And I got these on sale too during Black Friday. So that's another thing. It's like this hobby can be expensive. The technology can be expensive, but wait for the sales. Because I got both of these GoPros. I got during Black Friday for $100 off the retail price. So these usually go for like $450. If you wait for like Cyber Monday, Black Friday, you know, I got these for $350, which is a good deal. So, and then I got a crap ton of batteries. So, yeah, and that's the beauty of it, is that sometimes that's the great thing about technology. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. You can use your iPhone because the iPhones are really good. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's great. But that's what I use. Yeah, it's just, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Let's put this over here. So. Okay, now for the fiasco. My big boy disconnected from the tender. And it's way over there. But yeah, I love my GoPros. It's so versatile. And I've got some crazy shots. Like the next episode of the Fun Run collection should be coming out tomorrow. I still gotta make a thumbnail for it. But I'll release that tomorrow. And all that was taken from the GoPro 11. But yeah, and it's crazy too because these phones are getting so good in their recording technology. It's insane. But I also like the wrist mount system because, and here's the other thing too. Every person's recording style is different. You know, some people can actually hold the phone steady and record a train going through. I can't do that. I tend to shake when I try to keep things steady. Whereas the GoPro wrist mount, you know, I just relax my hand and I can just move it. You know, if I go limp with the hand and just follow the motion, I get a lot more sturdier shots. So again, it depends on your body types and all sorts of different things. Yeah, it's Rayron is the way you pronounce it, but I go by whatever. You can call me VR. Some people call me VR. Some people call me Ray. Some people call me actually by my real name. I don't care. Rayron is the mascot dragon that I put for this channel. Just something fun and cool to do. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the other thing. You can use a gimbal. I've tried the gimbal with phone. It didn't work too well for me. But yeah, and that's the thing. It worked well for you when you went to Amherst. And then something else that I've been wanting to think about is how do I do the live streaming aspect on the go? And like something that I would really be kind of cool to do is to have like two cell phones. Put like a cell phone on your wrist, so that way you can just go like this and read the chat while having the other phone in your hand to actually live stream. So that way, you know, you just look down and you've got the chat going and go from there. But obviously that's expensive, requires two phones, and yeah. But I think that's kind of long term, but it would be kind of cool too. But yeah, and like I said, you do mobile live streaming. I haven't begun to think about how I'm going to do that, if I'm even going to do that at all, because I like recording videos more and doing the live stream here at the layout here at home. It's just more of a personal thing for me, because also live streaming on the go also brings its security risks. So it's always different for each person. And that's why, you know what? If someone wants to see someone live streaming an event, I will shoot them your way, Heath, because I'll probably end up recording it. Because I just love my shoulder-mounted GoPro. And that's the beauty of this hobby is that, again, kind of going back to what I'm doing here. If you missed earlier of the stream, what I'm planning to do over here is put stickers. If you have a logo for your railroads, send me your JPEG version so that way I can digitally put them over here. So that way I can share them. I'll eventually put stickers up here. Again, I do have a P.O. box down below. You can look at all that stuff. But it's about this family. It's about this right here, the model railroading family. I don't need to do everything on this channel. I'll just do my takes, my versions of things. And then if they want to see something live streaming, head over to Heat's channel. Head over to Sparky, Mini Prince, whatever. Because with this family, again, this channel, going back to the motto, is the gateway to model railroading. If you find my channel, I want to tell everyone else on all these other channels. Because here's the other thing about streaming, content creation. We are not here 24/7. And I know if I promote all these wonderful people, the viewers can get unlimited amount of entertainment regardless of what time of day. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about content creation. Out of all of my 5 channels that I have, I have manga, endless collectibles, the Icey News, which is basically pop culture. Out of all of those channels, I felt more at home with model railroading. And I've done it for, when have I started this hobby? 20 years. I've been in this hobby for almost 20 years. And it just, when I finally found my niche, there was no doubt I was going to stick with this. And we're almost halfway to 1,000. Like, these last 3 months have been nuts. Just keeping consistent with the shorts. Doing two shorts a day. Keeping consistency. I mean, I grew almost 300 subscribers in several months, which is nuts. And you guys are freaking crazy, insane, and awesome. And I have you guys. I have the model railroading family to thank. The Icey family. So, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I know I went completely off topic a little bit there, but again, that's the beauty of the family. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and if we share that, and if you're not entertained by my content, it's not a bad thing. If you don't enjoy it, there's a whole family that you guys can go to and find a niche. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Yeah. I will definitely agree. Consistency. I'm going to go ahead and turn these sounds off real quick. Because I do want to chat about that a little bit. I know there's a stigma with the shorts. Trust me. I had a lot of stigmas with the shorts as well. But if you look at my very first video on this channel, it was basically a short. It was about 25 seconds long, and it was basically, I'll bring it out here. My very first video on this channel, or at least the first locomotive, was this guy. And it was basically a quick run by. I did it on my phone. Alright, Heath, take it easy. Thank you for dropping by. Again, if you're not followed to Heath, give him a follow, hit that bell. Awesome content every Tuesday. And great stuff. Great stuff. But my first video was basically a short. 26 seconds long. And with the algorithm, YouTube didn't like it. That's just the way it is. it's really tough to do those short videos having a train run by and having to upload it with a catching thumbnail. It does take a lot of time. And so when the concept of shorts came out, at first I was really hesitant, but it got to the point that I'm already doing that content anyway via video. Let me just go ham with it on the shorts, and I'm so glad I did. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still posting videos. Again, that's the other aspect of it, is that at least once a week, I want to get a video out to you guys, because I know people don't do shorts, or some members of the community don't enjoy shorts, and I get that. And so that's why I'm trying to do once a week the videos as well, so that way it's a balance between the two. And so that way, the shorts give me the algorithmic reach, while the videos maintain, the Icey family that want to go more into the hobby. So, again, all about that concept of being the gateway to this endless sandbox hobby. Okay, I'm really having some problems with these tenders now. Hang on. It's either derailment or uncoupling. I gotta flip the tender around because now we're having some issues. But let me switch this tender around real quick. Okay, round 2. 3. No, 4. I don't know. I'm losing track. Let's see. Big boy's there. The rock is there. Let's go ahead and bring that up and bring this up. But yeah, and that's why I love doing the shorts, because it gives me the reach, but then again, it becomes that gateway. If someone sees that swiping through the feed, and they see one of my videos and actually looks at it and subscribes to it, it may be just enough to get someone into this hobby. And that's where, when I thought about it from that perspective, and not thinking about, me personally, okay, I hate shorts. But again, looking at a different viewpoint, that, one of the younger generations, because the Generation Z, they may be big into, they're big into TikTok, for crying out loud. So of course it could be, again, overgeneralizing a little bit and stereotyping. If I have one Generation Z member that swipes through the shorts because that's what they're into, and they see one of my videos in Tomorrow Railroading and get into the hobby, that's kind of the big thing, I have done my job. Because it's always about getting people from the next generation into the hobby. And that's my number one goal. If I get one member from the next generation into this hobby and brings awareness to it, I have succeeded in what I wanted to do in this channel. And that's why I put shorts out, 2 shorts every 6 hours, every day. Not today, but at least 1 short daily. Because that way I know that this hobby is going to be growing into the future. And that's the mission. And that's my motto, gateway into the model railroading. So, and I love it. I love every bit of it. Alright, I'm going to keep an eye on this big boy. And let's go ahead and bring the sound back onto it. But no, I love these topics. I love talking about the hobby. And there was one particular podcast, and I can't remember the name, so please forgive me, but you guys will probably remember and correct me down. But there was a podcast where Heath was on it, and there's a few others that are talking about the state of model railroading. And man, I love that podcast. That's definitely something I wish I could have been on, because there's a lot of great topics about the health of the overall state of the railroad, state of the hobby. And that's something I think I'm going to do on this channel. Is I'll do a response video, or just do my own state of the hobby video from at least the HO perspective, and maybe a little bit at the end, but because I just got so much to talk about when it comes to this hobby. And I think right now the state of the hobby is definitely good. I'm just more concerned as we go more towards pre-orders. Bachman continues to raise its prices on DC sets. I am concerned that, with the economy that we have right now, that we're gatekeeping the Generation Z from getting into the hobby just based off price alone. Now, that's tough to say because there are other cheaper alternatives. You got train shows, you got Amazon. Walters is coming out with some good cheap sets. So as far as, I guess the best way to also describe it is, if you really want to understand the health of the hobby, you gotta look at the health of DC trains as a whole. And I just get more and more concerned as the price to get DC sets, DC engines goes up. That's where I think we really got to be concerned as a hobby, because now we're not getting that next generation into it. And that's why I think, as far as HO scale has that problem, N scale is taken care of. Because N scale's got Kato. Kato is definitely doing it right by having cheap DC snapped together trains. And not only that, but the Kato Unitrack system now has a modular standard of T-Track. So N-Scale, I think, is leading the way when it comes to entry-level model railroading. And you can also fit a lot more into that confined space. Whereas HO, it's a little bit more difficult. I know Bachman has Easy Track. I know Kato's got their Easy Track system. But there's no modular system like T-Track and HO. I wish there was. I wish there was a Bachman Easy Track that we can adapt into T-Track style of standards. No, it doesn't exist. Not right now. Not in the culture of things. Because, we got Fremo, we got NMRA. So it's really interesting. And I couldn't even tell you about Lionel. I know Lionel is always known for, the Christmas tree train. But again, I worry, as Lionel Christmas train box prices go up, are we raising the price too much that we gatekeep the next generation? So, I don't know. By the way, completely off topic, but if you love Lionel trains, follow Eric's Trains on YouTube. He's got some of the best content I've seen for Lionel. He's got a massive collection too. It's great. Whew. But yeah, I love it. Love his hobby. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move the turbine. We get that going back and forth a little bit here. It's such a cool shot. Seeing that rock go by the gas turbine. That's what makes it worth it. Alright, so it looks like the water tenders on the big boy are finally somewhat cooperating. That's something about couplers. If you have issues with couplers, just turn the car around and see if that works. So the big boy is going to come around and pass the turbine there. It just amazes me how far this layout has come. Like, I remember, if you watch the early days of this channel, I had a series called the Dragon's Branch Line. And that's coming back. I've got some modulars that I haven't been using on this layout that I've got going up. And it just started with that, with 4 modulars. It was Testing Range, which is the one that has a signal. I've got Beginner's Run, Memorial Pass, Phoenix Point, and then the finished Wilding Turn. And the fact that we've got all 4 Wilding Turns, we've got Harbor Point that's now up. It's amazing. And we still have a long ways to go. The layout in itself is kind of on hold, because I'm to the point where I got to create another modular. And I need to buy more Pico Code 80, but there's a shortage in distribution right now. And so, and kind of me financially, I got to figure out which way I'm going to go next, because it's either upgrade the DCC system, which is going to be quite a pretty penny to do, or do I, buy 2 Unitracks and PicoTrack and the wood that I need to get that modular built. And so, yeah, I still haven't decided which way I'm going to go. But the next episode of the modular layout will be an AnyRail. We'll be designing the next modular that we need to utilize that third rail track on the turns. And so that's kind of the direction that we need to go in. In fact, I'll probably end up recording that tomorrow, I think. I think that's what I'll do. Because it is a holiday in the States. It's I think it's President's Day tomorrow, so I got tomorrow off, luckily, so I can catch up on some videos. If you guys don't know, my big videos that I do, the Samurai Fun Run videos, they usually take me about 2 hours to edit. So it's quite a lot of time to do. But they're fun. There's so much fun videos to edit and put together. Got the turbine behind me. Once it reaches the Pokemon station back there, I'll have it switch around. Hey, Happy Valley Hobbies. How you doing, good sir? Seems like yesterday. So you got another streamer here on the YouTube's Happy Valley Hobbies. If you guys want some turn of the century content when it comes to model railroading, definitely head on over. Hit the subscribe on Happy Valley. Alright, we're going to switch the direction on the turbine. And then if you guys really want to see some interesting stuff, especially when it comes to scratch building, kit bashing, like we're talking MMR level content, Master Model Railroad content, Nutracks modeling on YouTube is definitely a place for you. They've got a great team over there. I used to be part of the team, but I had to kind of drop out, unfortunately, because they used to do Saturday streams, which I couldn't make it anymore, and I started my masters, and forget it. I couldn't support them anymore. But it is what it is. Life happens. But definitely check out Nutracks modeling. But again, welcome everyone. This is the mythical railroad where nothing is prototypical for the most part. This channel is designed to be the gateway to model railroading. Right now we're doing basically a fun run. The whole purpose of this podcast. Yeah, no problem. No problem. The gateway to model railroading. Today is pretty much a fun run night. This whole podcast is designed around just running trains around the layout and just talking about the hobby and chilling and relaxing. If I can help you distract from all the IRL drama, even just for a minute, I've done my job. And so the whole point of the Icey Rails Podcast is just that, to enjoy everything. How many cars do I have as far as on these trains or as the collection? Because when it comes to collection, let me show you. I've got a whole wall. I've got cars on the layout. I've got cars in the project bin over here. I've lost track. As far as the trains, think I've got 9 cars on the rock. 15 ore cars on the big boy. And by the way, these cars are the ones I have displayed. I still got more in the closet. I've been collecting for a while. It's 20 years worth of stuff. Oh my goodness, yeah. Like I said, I would say I've got at least over 1,000 cars. I mean, most of it's on that shelf over there. That whole shelf over there. And that's actually 2 rows deep. So stuff that you see in front, that's just the first row on one particular shelf, but there's 2 rows on each shelf that's full of stuff. And I've actually got cars that are stacked on top of one another because I just got so much. And I've got passenger cars on that one. Okay, let me do it this way. Okay, passenger cars there. There's a lot of my freight cars. So, and then I've got more in that closet over there. Yeah, it's nuts. This is basically my man cave, as Heath puts it. Let me bring up something that I haven't brought up in a while. Let's go ahead and bring up the dispatch panel again. Because again, I like to bring this up from time to time. Again, the whole goal of this layout eventually is to have a proper dispatch here at my computer via using JMRA. Eventually, we'll have all the block detectors on each of the monitors so you can see exactly where each train is at. We'll have a lot more signals on the switch tracks so that way we can actually properly control the switches, the trains, all from my computer here using JMRA. So over, I don't know if you guys can't see it, but anyways, we got the rock right now going over the first wilding modular, which is all the turns. And you can see how it turns red down below, and that's the block detection. So it's on that first modular. You'll see it going to the second, and eventually the third, and then go from there. What's my favorite? Oh my gosh. I've kind of already showed this on camera a little bit. I think my favorite thing in my collection is easily my 90s River Rossi Greyhound Scheme Fantasy Scheme Big Boy. So that's my favorite item right there. Okay, you can stop doing that now, camera. Thank you. So yeah, I love this thing. It's going to be one of those that I convert eventually, but I'm going to take my time with converting it. I think as far as an upcoming item that I'm really going to like, it's going to be my coal turbine I'm going to convert into BCC. The UP coal turbine. And the good old original River Rossi boxes. Matter of fact, that big boy's River Rossi. It's actually a more modern day River Rossi. This is easily my favorite company. I just wish they would make more modern, more up-to-date versions of their stuff, but they've scaled back so much on their products. It's kind of sad. If there's any chance that I can get any more River Rossi big boys in different numbered, I'm going to grab them in a heartbeat. I just love them that much. Yeah, I've actually did a video on it. It was my first Icey unboxing. I ended up getting a NJ brass coal turbine. I thought I was never going to get the coal turbine, and it's not the stupid Divine Point $5,000 coal turbine. No, absolutely not. I'm not. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Uh-oh. Our coal train's derailed. Or turbine. Gas turbine derailed. Okay, it's fixed. I think it re-railed itself. Oh, you're talking about the gas turbine? Yeah. I'll take a look at it when it comes behind me. The gremlins, man. It's all good. Yeah, it's the delay. It's the delay. It happens. Like, these security cameras already have a delay on it, on top of the internet delay and point-to-point delay. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, it's weird because these turbines, the gas car, oh my goodness, water tankers on the big boy were working just fine for like 2 to 3 hours, and now it's becoming an issue. Okay, so let me talk about my streaming setup because it's kind of, I gotta talk about the whole thing to understand the quality and everything that's going around here. So, I've got Google Fiber for one. I've got a Google Fiber router that's connected wired to my computer, which is allowing for all these cameras to not drop frames. So that's kind of the first part of it. And then I've got the Swan security system, which is like 12 years old. I've got that going into a 12-year-old Hodgepodge capture card via HDMI that's going into my computer that I'm using my Streamlab OBS to upload to the web. Yeah, that's kind of how everything works. It's taken 12 years to get to this point. That's how sad this is. So yeah, basically the cameras that you see over here, it's actually going through the Swan security system, but it's just being captured by a capture card. And that's the beauty of it, is that I can actually add 9 cameras to the Swan system. Now, there is still delay with the cameras because the camera feed has to go through so many different things. There's another additional about 2-second delay on it. Sounds like Keith. This is the simple version of everything. He takes it to a whole new level. Like, his cameras, I think, are wireless, point to point. I mean, it gets really crazy when you get into the wireless systems. Like, I've got wires all over the place. Like, these cameras are not wireless. They're all wired. So I've got wires everywhere to make this work right. Yeah. So eventually, for this system, I'm going to go up to 3 monitors, because eventually, I want to have my center monitor being my dispatch board. But my third monitor crapped out on me, and I gotta get a new one. Which, again, I got a train show in literally a week. Again, I'll put another plug out for it. So again, I'll be at the train show this week here in San Antonio, Texas. So if you're in the area, can attend, I will be there. So it's pretty cool. This layout right now can hold 3 trains. We can run 2 trains on the main and then do 1 point-to-point for the siding, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think wired is the way to go. If you can do the cable management for it, oh man, wired is definitely the way to go. Because you just reduce that latency time. Yeah, it happens. But I will definitely be recording. I won't be live streaming from it. I'll do a lot of recording. And here's the cool thing too. On Saturday, the train show in the evening, scale trains will be at Samra, which is where I do a lot of my video edits. So, part of our club. So yeah, I'm so excited that I'll finally get to meet the CEO of Scale Trains. And I've got a few questions to ask him. I'll record the whole event. It's going to be a long day because we got the train show in the morning that will buy stuff. We'll be at the museum, the Samra Museum, running trains. And in the evening, scale trains will be there on their tour around the country. And then Sunday, we'll be running trains the whole day. So yeah, next Saturday is going to be. I gotta buy more batteries. There's a lot. There's a lot to Saturday. I think once the gas turbine comes back, we'll probably permanently park it. And then we'll just keep the R2 running for a little bit more. Yeah, it's a full day. But it's like, it's one of those things that for this channel, it is by far one of the more important days I've had of content recording. Because like, I'm going to be recording the train show. I'm going to be recording my run on the layout. And then I got to record the entire event of scale trains when they're here. So yeah, it's going to be and probably the most important for this channel yet. Especially for scale trains. That is a huge opportunity for this channel. So we're going to try. We're going to try. So And it'll be kind of cool if I can get an interview with them, but there's going to be like 70 people there that have signed up for it already, so the odds is not in my favor, but at least I'll capture what it is like to go to a Scale Trains on the road trip event, which is what I want to capture. Yeah, it's a very 19th century is very niche. But again, there's stuff out there. But I think as far as 19th century stuff, Bachman is really, I think, the big player in that. Yeah. Yeah, Scale Train's just, they're they're a modern company for the most part. So the fact that they came out with the big bowl was amazing when they did. Alright, the turbine's coming back. Yeah, I think I'll try to live stream tomorrow, again around this time. Actually, no. No, I won't be streaming tomorrow, I don't think. Because I know Tom's Trains and Things actually streams tomorrow, and I want to watch that, because he had a good video come out today regarding his train show that he had yesterday. So yeah, I probably won't stream until I'll probably put out, I got my Samra Fun Run episode 7 coming out tomorrow. So, no streaming tomorrow. I don't like streaming over other YouTubers that I watch, so I won't stream over Heath, won't stream over Tom's Trains and Things, and a few others. I'll try not to stream over, but naturally it's going to happen. But I tend to do longer streams. I always try to. When I stream, I can stream for a good couple hours. Okay, I'm just trying to gauge the distance between the daylight and turbine. I don't want them connecting. No, I want it to stop. There we go. Okay, so we'll just park the turbine there. It'll be more background scenery now for the rest of the stream. And let me actually silence it. So that is the gas turbine EP number 26. That is the Ogden Station Edition. So we've seen that view for a couple times now. Let me just pinpoint this over here. There we go. Well, it looks like the water tenders are cooperating. So now I know that the American flag one's got to go in the back. And I may have to switch the front one if I get it the wrong orientation. Let's see here. Alright, so I think what we'll do, I kind of want to park the big boy. This will be interesting. So what I'm going to do, let's go to dispatch board real quick. What I'm going to do is we'll give a yellow to the rock. And then we'll stop the rock just past the signal. And then the big boy will go into the siding. And then we'll run the rock for a little bit more. And I think we'll come to a close. To give you guys some ops action here. So as you can see, I've given the yellow signal to the rock. Realistically, I wish I had another signal to give it the red, but that's fine. Eventually we'll get there. We will get there. Okay, so the big boy's going to come to a stop. That yellow signal for the rock will finish at keep the rock going until it hits Phoenix Point, and then we'll stop it there. Eventually, we'll have a signal. I need to put a signal in this modular. That's probably something I think I'm going to do sooner rather than later, because I've got the signals. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, Happy Valley. Have a good night. Thank you so much for coming out, good sir. And have a good night. Alright, on JMRI, we're going to go ahead and flip the switch to the Phoenix Point. And we'll reverse the big boy into the siding. Take it nice and slow. Try not to derail it. We'll see. So Phoenix Point, you'll see it on the left-hand middle camera there. Again, I'm taking it nice and slow because these are cold cars and they will derail if I go too fast. So we'll see. See how this goes. But I do want to put a signal on Phoenix Point. That's gonna happen. Yeah. And I've got the signal to do it, so yeah. We're gonna make that happen. Yep, and now we have one cold car direct. The big boy may actually be in the siding when the rock comes. Alright, so now the rock is definitely going to come to a stop on the siding there, or on the main line. Alright. And the big boy is officially parked. The engineer is getting out of the engine and shutting her down. I know it's not that simple in real life, but we'll just roll with it on the mythical railroad. Alright, as dispatcher, I will go ahead and flip the switch to Phoenix Point, so that way the rock has the green light, and I'll give it to the green, and we'll go ahead and roll out. And we'll give it some speed here since it is unobstructed. It is the lone survivor. Alright, and we'll pop the dispatch board out. So that's kind of the drawback to this layout right now, is that I have to go backwards to park any engine, and it's a single track siding with one switch being that one right there. That's why the next module that we build is going to help me get into other sidings. Okay. Why are you going so fast? There we go. So I'm also debating, you know what, I think we will. I'm going to back up the big boy just a little bit more. So I would like to put the rock on the siding as well as we finish things off. It'd be nice to have the whole main line just free. Yeah, I can't wait for this layout to be fully operational. It's gonna be nice. Alright, so the big boy is officially in place. And so when we go to park the rock, the entire main line will be free. think we'll give it maybe 2 more laps. My voice is starting to get a little sore. But great night, guys. I greatly appreciate you guys being here. All the lurkers are welcomed. It's a great thing about this hobby is that it's just one of those things that you can just relax to. Yeah, we'll give it about 2 more laps. We're almost 10 minutes away from 3 hours, which I think is the longest I've gone on this channel. So we're going to make it to 3 hours. So we'll probably run this engine for about 5 more minutes. And then once we hit that 5-minute till mark, we will do some closing comments. And then we'll call it a stream. But I'm glad that very minor technical issues for this stream. Oh, what a mess. Yeah, the issue that I had yesterday was I had a coupler that was not to height. So I had to swap that out completely. And I had to move some cars around, and we were able to get to work. So yeah, I think the next stream I think will be, oh shoot, it's gonna be a while because I forgot about the train show. Probably next Friday night is probably when we'll stream again. Yeah, I think next Friday night we'll stream. But again, I don't have a dedicated schedule with these podcasts because it's got to fit around my hectic schedule. So again, I can't emphasize enough, if you love these shows, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon. It's the best way to know when I go live. Because it's literally going to be, okay, I'm going to stream. And it may happen at a moment's notice. It's really impulsive when I go live. Let's get some other shots here. Oh, hey, that works. Get a gut. Come on. You looking for it? Come on, you. Alright. I think this will be the second to last lap. Or maybe the last lap. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and give this engine, we'll give it a yellow signal just for S and Gs. Again, I'm not following any modern day signal protocol. I'm doing my own mythical railroad signal protocol. Because again, hashtag not prototypical. So we'll give it a yellow for the last lap. So yeah, this will be the official last lap. We'll give it a red, and then we'll back it up into the siding. And so I'm still debating what train I want to run next. I think it'll leave a surprise, but I think we'll be running a passenger train next time. I've got something in mind that I think you guys will like. Alright, we'll go ahead and flip it to a red signal. And technically, it's supposed to be slowing down, but for the sake of time, we'll just have it go at constant speed. Alright. Okie dokie. Alright, and now we will switch it. And we'll back it on in. Yeah, nice and slow because we do have those coal cars that can be a little troublesome. Don't you derail on me. Yep, it derailed. If you can hear that clicking sound, that's when I know I have a short. Okay. Alrighty. I hear an engine over there. Alright, and the engineer has turned off the engine, and the layout goes silent. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for an awesome stream. 3 hours and about 1 minute, so I'll do some closing comments here to get us on the road again. So again, if you have like a sticker, if you have an image that I can put, on my whiteboard back here, if you got your logo, feel free to send me a message on Discord with it. That way I can get this expanded upon, and we'll go from there. So kind of the course of this week, I got a couple videos. Obviously, I'll have my shorts coming out twice a day. A lot of cool engines coming out, from big boys to daylights to cab forwards. A lot of cool shorts. I've got my DC single modular up and going, so now I can start capturing DC stuff. I've got a few more mini prints to put on my turntable. So there's a lot more content for you guys coming out, and I'm having a blast with this channel. It's definitely been growing. The Icey family's been growing, and I love every bit of it. And thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing, and just hanging out and having fun in the world's greatest hobby. So again, I am Rayron, the Ice Dragon. Thank you guys so much for joining the Mythical Railroad. Again, the gateway